Hello glorious faggot master race, it is me, your dear homosexual leader Drew Pickles, and today I would like to explain the reason why I declined playing the role of Brian O'Connor in the movie The Fast and the Furious. At the time, director Rob Cohen was still recovering from the disaster known as his previously directed film, Skulls. After receiving a 9% quality rating and losing a shitload of money, Rob Cohen knew he needed a guaranteed success at the box office or it would more than likely be the end of his career as a director. He received the idea for an action-packed street racing adventure and began looking for an all-star cast. At this point in my life I was still staring on the shit Cohen-directed TV show known as Rugrats. I received a call from Rob Cohen saying he wanted me to join the film, because he wanted a well-known children's actor who could attract younger shitcoins and their parents to theaters. We all know that The Fast and the Furious became a very successful movie franchise which continues to promise a few more sequels, even after running out of plot ideas halfway through the first movie. I eventually had to leave the film due to the fact that the suggestions I was making were not being taken into the amount of consideration that they deserved. I originally agreed to join the film because I looked over the script, and as I went to wipe my ass I noticed one name that changed my whole perspective: Vin Diesel. For many years I had wanted to use that bald bastard's chrome dome head as Dildos, and I finally had my chance. Because of Rob Cohen's previously mentioned failure, he often asked the crew for advice, and I was happier than a hamster in a hammock to offer it to him. For instance, in the opening scene when Brian O'Connor is practicing street racing in a parking lot but for no reason loses traction and spins out, I suggested that I be driving a custom rainbow-painted V6 Mustang through a Walmart parking lot, running over women, and instead of spinning out for no reason I get a massive boner and start masturbating like a and as I drive around the parking lot my car suddenly stops after a loud bang. It is at this point where I realize I was stroking the gear stick and was trying to shift with my cock. I would then have my sperm stank towed to a garage where they tell me the car is wrecked, so I have to go find a more homosexual car for the street race I plan to go to. You may be wondering what car is clearer than a V6 Mustang with rainbows all over it. Well, I suggested the most homosexual car in existence, a Mitsubishi Eclipse. At least one part of my idea made it into the movie Hamada. This was one of many scenes I felt needed improvement. Another example is the scene where I go to the late-night street race. When Brian O'Connor meets the stupid dealer Hector, I wanted Brian to put a help wanted sign on his cock. Hector would then give him 69 job applications and then give me a blowjob like glur, and just as I am about to come there is an announcement that the street race is about to begin, so I quickly call the border patrol on Hector and have him sent back to Mexico. After the street race is busted by the cops and I bring Toretto back to his house, instead of running around stealing the beers people were drinking, I wanted Toretto to walk into every member of his street racing crew playing with huge dildos. Toretto would turn to me and say, "You can have any dildos you like, as long as it is rigid." So me and Toretto shut everyone's dildos up our asses like of course Toretto is who brings an RX-7 to a drag race while Apex Seals. Come tech is kicking in like as well as many scenes I wanted changed. I also felt the cast of cars was lame and recommended some better models that I felt would make the movie more interesting. I have already mentioned the sperm sting. Instead of demonic Toretto driving an RX-7, I felt that stylish sexy bastard should be driving a Chrysler PT Cruiser with Walmart flame decals in the side and a coffee can exhaust when pulling off tests on trucks. Instead of Honda Civics I wanted Mazda MX-3s painted come white, with daddy's little cocksucker written on the back. And instead of me driving a Toyota Supra I wanted to be driving a Dodge Ram with a Cummins Yamaha engine featuring a custom paint job of a Ram ramming its cock deep into Barney the Triple Testicle Dinosaur, and I wanted a custom exhaust that goes when I drive and glur when I am buying fuel. And finally, instead of Toretto's final car, the Dodge Charger, I wanted him driving a Honda S2000 with a hardtop roof made of dildos, referred to as a hard-on roof. Though the director often tried to appease me, he often ended up politely playing off my ideas and ignoring them completely. But one day I pushed him too far, when I demanded that the scene where Brian O'Connor goes out on a night on the down with the stupid slut me up, I demanded that Brian had been expecting to go for poopy butt sex and smacked a bitch to death with his cock like smack 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 stupid slut. Where is my bald beefcake smack 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 smack? You may drive a piece of shit Integra, but you're the one with instant slap smack 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 smack. Rob Cohen became enraged with me and told me to leave the set for the rest of the day. It was at this point where I became so mad I grabbed Vin Diesel and finally used his head as dildos like. Did you know that Vin Diesel was the voice of the Iron Giant? I feel like the Giant had so few lines a celebrity voice would be a waste of time, effort, and most importantly money. Then again, Hollywood producers have more money than brains. I am tired of Hollywood putting out tolerance movies that are about people killing Nazis and stuff. I actually want to see a movie about Nazis killing black people. How did black people take over the media? God damn it, I got sidetracked, so I will come like bag. That was the swelling the bi-curious. Naturally this would be the end of me in this film, but turns out Vin Diesel is a bigger homo than everyone thinks he is, and he tried to convince Rob Cohen to give me another shot. Unfortunately, almost all my ideas and scenes of me were left on the cutting room floor. This is why Vin Diesel doesn't appear into Fast and Furious, because he was so upset that the gayest man in the world had been cut from the production. All my time in the film, like the title, was Fast and Furious, I still deem it successful, because once in a while Vin Diesel will come to Barney Bunch meetings and use his famous shining 10,000 horsepower dildo, also known as his head. Until next time I rape you, see you later glorious faggot master race.